President Trump is at odds with the CDC, calling the director confused about masks and when Americans can expect a vaccine. And this comes as COVID deaths are rising again. ABC News obtained an internal FEMA memo showing more than 5,900 deaths over the last week, a jump of nearly 17% from the week before. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega is tracking all the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, George, good morning to you. This has been a pattern, the president publicly contradicting the scientists in his own administration. But this time, this example, this was really something. Here we are with nearly 200,000 Americans dead in this pandemic. And now people in this country are forced to choose whether to believe the president or the nation's top health experts.
Right there from the White House podium in the middle of a pandemic, the President of the United States flatly contradicting his own CDC director over exactly when Americans will get a vaccine. The president insisting it could be as soon as next month. But the CDC director testified under oath on Capitol Hill the earliest most people would get it would be mid to late next year.
It's just incorrect information. And I called him, and I think he got the message, maybe confused, maybe it was stated incorrectly. No, we're ready to go immediately.
He was pretty clear in the way he said it.
Yeah, well, I think so, but I don't think he means that. I don't think when he said it, I believe he was confused. I'm just telling you, we're ready to go as soon as the vaccine happens.
Dr. Robert Redfield didn't seem confused just hours earlier.
If you're asking me when is it going to be generally available to the American public so we can begin to take advantage of vaccine to get back to our regular life, I think we're probably looking at late second quarter, third quarter, 2021.
But from President Trump,
he just made a mistake. I think he misunderstood the question, probably. I got the impression that he didn't realize he said what he might have said.
And overnight, it got even more chaotic. A CDC spokesman issued a statement saying Dr. Redfield did indeed misunderstand the question. But then, 40 minutes after that, the spokesman retracted that statement. And the contradictions did not end there. In his testimony, Redfield also called masks the most important public health tool we have.
I might even go so far as to say that this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine.
But when the president was pressed on that,
it's not more effective by any means than a vaccine. And I believe that if you ask him, he would probably say that he didn't understand the question.
So we did ask, and the CDC said in a statement, masks are among the best defense we currently have against this virus. Joe Biden zeroing in.
We can't allow politics to interfere with the vaccine in any way. So let me be clear. I trust vaccines, I trust scientists, but I don't trust Donald Trump.
So here's where we stand. These are the facts right now. Multiple experts, including those working on this vaccine, say it is highly unlikely that a vaccine will be ready before the election. In addition to the vaccine, trials still happening. There are questions about whether it can be ready for widespread distribution. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, Dr. Redfield said that scientific integrity of the CDC has not been compromised. But George, this morning, you know this, there are serious questions about whether that is actually still the case.
Huge question. Cecilia, thanks very much. Let's bring in our scientific expert, Dr. Ashish Jha, the Dean of the Brown University School of Public Health. Welcome back, Dr. Jha. Thanks for joining us again this morning. Let's do the science first. Masks.
Yeah, Dr. Redfield is completely right about this. It is incredibly effective. There's no question. People should be wearing masks when they're outside their home.
And how about, what is the expectation now on vaccines? We know these trials are all going on right now. We know some of the leaders in the trials think that they may be able to announce some success by the end of the year. But what about widespread distribution?
Yeah, so I think that's exactly right. We're going to have them announced before the end of this year, I hope, and that's what we're expecting. And majority of Americans will get their vaccine late spring to summer. It might be a month or two earlier, but not much.
So then we get into the question of what are we all supposed to take away when we see the president questioning the CDC director? Implication there is there's pressure on the CDC director. What impact will that have on whether people will think a vaccine is as safe and effective when in fact it is distributed?
Yeah, so George, this is frustrating because the science here has been done really well so far. People have been working very, very hard to build a vaccine, and we can't let politicians politicize this. I look at this as, if you have a really serious medical diagnosis, do you want to listen to your doctor or do you want to listen to your politician? to me, it's pretty clear you want to listen to the doctors, you want to listen to the public health experts, and not let the politicians drive the timeline.
There's been such a pattern here. What does the CDC do in this situation?
You know, it's incredibly hard. I mean, I watch the CDC's output, what they're putting out there, their reports. Some of it is still excellent. You can see the great scientists of the CDC still at work. And then you can often see how it then gets muddled by the political process. And what gets released is often gibberish. It's often just not at all consistent with science. So it's a very difficult situation. We've got to let the CDC scientists speak and share their scientific expertise with us.
Can Americans still trust what they're hearing from the CDC?
You know, again, I think there's some great stuff coming out of the CDC, but again, we've seen more and more politicization of what comes out. It's a really difficult situation. We've got to restore faith in the CDC and its scientific process.
Dr. Shah, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, George.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.